What? 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 Hey. Yeah. It's almost like I'm being a responsible streamer for the first time in a while. Ah! Scared me. Hey, Fleece. How's it going? Good to see you. Hope everything is treating you well. Good to see you. There we go. Hello, how's it going? Good to see you. Nice! Congratulations, Jaden. Where the heck? That wily little racer had to get to. Yes, tell us about this villain, Jadon. Where the heck did my wily... Aha! Whee! Whee! Oh, there it is. Under my feet. Okay. Calais! Calais, 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 Calais. Hey, Calais. How you doing today? Got everything set up. Now the actual art. Now the actual reason for the season. Art. Okay. You did. Congratulations. Okay. Jeff. Spaceman. Jeff Spaceman. Jeffrey Spaceman. Perfect name, I figured it out. I don't know. Hannibal Baraka. I always go with like history names. I'm trying to think of a good historical figure. Quasar. No. That's lame. So what's everybody else doing? Kratos. Gracious. Caracas. Krakatoa. I know, I'm just naming things. The Dead. Yo! Triple A in the house. Hey, how's it going, A? Good to see ya. Huh. Once again. Okay. Well, I have prepped for this. Oh, okay, good. You are popping up. Haha, wonderful. You've made it to 2 streams in a row. Congratulations. We're trying to come up with a name for Jaden's Big Bad. We're struggling a little bit. I find, I don't know about you guys, but I find coming up with names to be one of the harder parts of writing. Jaden over there on the Twitch, he's trying to come up with a name for his big villain in his superhero story, and we're struggling to come up with something. Koltar, that's not bad. I don't know about you guys, but I actually find coming up with names to be one of the more difficult parts. I find that very annoying to deal with. Big Space Emperor Evil Dude. some reason, I keep thinking the Dead Horse of the Galaxy. That's the name I keep coming up with, but I don't think that makes sense. The Skull God? Blood for the Blood God! Skulls for the Skull God! Blood for the Blood God. Yeah. Oh, he comes from the Dreadmorns! I know them. We vacation in Connecticut together. Callie, where are you getting your henchmen from? If you don't hire quality henchmen, it's gonna fail. Don't just hire them off of Craigslist. Go to a henchman agency. You guys want to help come up with a name? Yeah. You guys want to help me come up with a name for a few of my characters? I've been stuck on naming a few characters. Okay. I should clarify when I say this. I might not necessarily take your picks, but I will. I might. It's not a guarantee that I'll take your picks, but it is a guarantee I will maybe be inspired by your picks. If that makes sense. Robin! Okay, just... Okay, okay, so there's two names I'm struggling with. How are you going, Robin? Okay. One, I want a name for my main character's, at least in the story I'm working on right now, her rival. And he's a human who he's a human. It's actually kind of weird talking about the story because, sure, Robin. Tell. Okay, so he's the son of the owner and the current champion of the Federation. He's a human. He's tall. He's big, and he is not particularly bright. Do you guys got a name? You guys got a name for that sort of character? Got any ideas? Because I'm struggling. I'm just calling him the Crusher right now. I don't like that name. Yes, spill the tea, Robin. Oh, that's... Actually, that's really good. Okay, A came out with the... I like that name. I like A's name. Okay, it's gonna be Thaddeus. I like that. A immediately came up with a name I like. Yeah. Thaddeus X. Yeah, that works, yeah. Okay, sorry for building it up. Yep, A gets points. Oh my goodness, what? Ooh, that is juicy. That is very juicy. They were having an affair. Ooh la la. Yeah, you are correct. That is some juicy hot goss. Did I ever tell? You guys want to hear what the biggest controversy in my, in my middle school was? Yeah. No, What's going on with you and Callie? Yo, okay. It's in a similar vein. So, the principal and the guidance counselor, who were both married, were having an affair. And just one day they disappeared. Like, they ran off together, it was a big controversy. Partly because, like, his daughter, the principal's daughter, was in my class. Yeah. It's a shame, too, because everybody liked them. Everybody liked those two. They were more popular than their replacements, but... But yeah, that was a big controversy. That is wild. That is wild. So, are they still there? Yeah. Oh. That's so funny. You're gonna be a practical. Yeah, that's gross. That's always such a bummer when that happens. I don't think... How are they getting scammed? I think, like, sometimes teachers like lose perspective that they're like the adults. No! No, what? What? You can very easily fake a video chat. You can do live deepfakes. Why would Elon? I was like, oh, maybe it's just there's some things that are really insidious and, you know, you don't know, but it's like, no, that's so obviously a scam. What the hell is he doing? Why wouldn't he just... Like, does he know you can just buy, like, parts, $200 worth of, like, Tesla? There's, like, fractional shares you can get. I It's so easy to fake video calls now. It's I agree. That is holy heck. That's ridiculous. How did he meet Elon Musk? I'm curious now. You know, I'm gonna say it. Not offensive. Maybe too kind. I'm curious how he met Elon Musk. I knew somebody once who Elon Musk once retweeted one of their things once. I don't think Jeff Bridges. Oh, maybe, I don't know. I don't think Jeff Bridges uses gun. Would be that type of person. And Charlize Theron. I don't know, Robin. This guy might have more issues than just. I think this guy might have some issues. Like it sounds like there's more going on with this guy than just. Yeah, this is. And of course, yeah, this sounds like the guy with some problems. Oh my. Fleece, great seeing you, and you have a good day too, and happy 2025. Yeah. He's literally the type of guy that, like, scammers target. Like, this is a... Like, does it... Yep. Yeah, like, I don't know, Robin. Yeah, there's something going on with this dude. There's some untreated issue that he is not dealing with. But yeah, I don't think anybody deserves to be scammed, but sometimes it's hard, you know. Just like Robin, I legitimately think this guy might have like schizophrenia or something. Like that sounds very much like a problem. Like if he constantly thinks like celebrities are talking to him and asking him to do things, I don't know if he can. Sounds like he might have trouble differentiating reality from fantasy. Just throwing it out there. That's a pretty classic thing of schizophrenia. How old is he? $60. Oh, wow. That... I thought he was like in his 20s or something. Man, he's 60? He's 60? He's 60 years old. I was like, oh, it gets worse and worse. Why would... No. Remember, all the... Sure he does. No. Oh, God, no. Remember, Jaden, all the stupid people you meet, as long as they don't, like, walk in front of a bus or something, they'll live to be 60. There are young people here, Robin. Dilf. Someone at Walmart. It is America's favorite artist. I won that election. By not telling any other artist about it. Oh, I didn't see. Was somebody trying to get, like, Oh, the one you post. Yes, I did like that one. That's very good. How's it going, Tato? Boop, boop, boop. I should label these better. This is Triple A's art right here. Isn't that good? I was impressed by your art, eh? That is wild. Yes, I won the election to be America's favorite artist by not telling any artist what was going on. What was going on, and then voting for myself 80 times. That's democracy. Okay. So what's going on today for everybody? How is Newsies? Starring Batman? You're watching Newsies starring Batman? Do people get that reference? Do people also understand what that reference is? Christian Bale starred in the original Newsies. Yeah. Used to be part of people. How is Newsies? Well, swallow some already, Callie. Just stop putting new onions in your mouth. Yes, you should. You should. Are you watching a slime tutorial, or are you watching the movie? Are you watching the original movie? Oh, okay. Of the musical? So you don't even get to see young Christian Bale sing Santa Fe. That's all I remember about that movie. It was on late at night on Disney Channel. And that was before I learned what Adult Swim was, so. And then I just would watch that every day. You should. I've had that idea too of making like a workplace sitcom set in the Star Wars universe. Jeremy Jordan. The international criminal. Are you talking about the international crime lord Jeremy Jordan? No, I want an office set in the Empire. I think that would be funnier. And a one page of a pilot I was totally going to write one day. Yes. You might not know this, but most Broadway performers also used to work for the CIA. Broadway is actually an elaborate CIA operation. Yes, of course I have, Robin. Of course, the one with Adam Driver. Yes, of course I have. Yeah, that's Undercover Boss. That's Adam Driver. Adam Driver, by the way, is a very good actor. He's done more things than Star Wars. Okay. Have you? Did you see that movie finally, Robin? Have you seen that? Oh, that's one of my favorite movies. Let's see. Ooh. Yeah, from me, because I keep telling you to watch it. Very nice, Jaden. I like. I like how purpley he is. Darn it, you gotta see that movie, Robin. That's a really good movie. I really like that movie. Who here has seen Inside Llewyn Davis? Not particularly. Still whiling away. Sometimes I want. I've noticed. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder what the point of all of this is. No, it's too cold. I should, but it's been cold. We're having a showing tomorrow for the house, and social media. I do sometimes wonder what I'm doing here exactly. Um, like what my ultimate goal is. Beyond that, I don't know. I learned. No, that's really petty. I don't know. Nothing really new's going on. Hopefully, new thing. I don't know. My life lately has been kind of in a just a holding pattern of like I'm just doing the same stuff over and over again. And I don't know. I kind of thought I'd try something new this year. I don't know what that is though. Don't like her leg. Why are you beating up shadows? Don't know. Don't know. Don't know. But anyways, sorry for bringing everybody down. Let's talk about happy things. So Newsies is good. Newsies is good. What's go? Those darn shadowy bastards. Maybe I'll move to Brazil this year. Who knows? Yeah, that's been my experience with movies lately is it's like I'm just not that interested in many new things as of late. I don't know. It sucks because it's like I love movies. Oh, I could care less about the new Jurassic World thing, but Superman I'm excited for. That could work. I've seen enough dinosaurs fight. I want to see giant mammals fight each other. Let's get past the Jurassic period and let's go to like the Cretaceous period or something. The next period where it was a bunch of giant mammals walking around on Earth. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the new superhero movie. Dinosaurs, they're overdone. That's so... Football sucks. I'm throwing this out there. Football is boring. Have you guys seen Professional Tag? That stuff rules. That would be fun. That would make. I just don't think any of the Jurassic World movies are good, Robin. I don't think any of them are good. I think they're all quite bad. Well, my definition of a good movie is one I enjoyed, and I didn't like those movies, so I don't think they're good. I don't think they're very good. So you can pay me to sit through them again. I found them boring. I disliked the characters. I thought the direction was pretty bad. I think the writing is bad. I find the storylines to be quite stupid, frankly. So no, you just have a different taste in movies. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's just different. It's not bad. It's just different than mine. But I didn't like those movies. I don't think Colin Trevorrow is that great of a director, honestly. I don't. So yeah, I didn't like those movies. So that's why I'm not interested in seeing them. Sure, a cool dinosaur movie would be fun, but I don't need to see dinosaur movies. FYI, don't need to see superhero movies too. Don't watch as many as people think I do. As long as you like those movies, and it shouldn't matter what they think, right? Like, yes, I'm very excited for the new Superman movie. That one looks good. I like James Gunn a lot. I'm very thankful that we are past the Snyder version of DC. I don't like Zack Snyder as a director. I think he's kind of a hack, honestly. I think that by the way, I mostly watch like crime movies. Like I mostly like watch dramas and crime movies, but nobody here cares about those sorts of movies, so I don't talk about them. Nobody here cares about those sorts of movies, so I don't talk about them. But I don't. You guys like those, so I talk about them more here. But I just did. Uh, I don't know, I just clicked the OBS and it did this. See? I like that, like... You say that, oh, that's good. Say that's good to hear. Say that's good to hear, or I'm happy you're doing well, or say that that is very good. You deserve things to be going good. You deserve for things to be going your way. Yeah, you deserve things to be going your way. Life should treat you well. Oh, very easy, Kelly. Okay, lovely talking to you. Didn't you mention that? Slowly but surely. I'm at the point, I'm just kind of messing with it right now. Until we meet again, friends and enemies. Yes. Oh, very easy, Callie. I'm not 100% convinced you aren't in a cult at the moment. Nah, you're the... They would see you coming a mile away, Callie. I once joked with my friends. Oh, the feds got to you, huh? I have a short story that I'm trying to get published in a magazine. Ooh, big deal. And it's about a guy whose job it is to consult with cults. Like, he does all the back-end business stuff so cult leaders can just focus on being cult leaders. I was joking today. Oh my goodness! Callie? Oh my goodness. Where did it get posted? Yeah, link it, brother. Oh, the feds raided you? Those darn feds. What happened to the cheese cult? Exactly. I know you were very excited about it. How's it going, Baldy? Yay! The promise is that you'll take the world that I perceive, swallow up the senses that my soul has learned in my years without you to ignore. You have my soul to receive and ecstasy in a moment alone. Well, that's really, Kelly, that's really awesome. Congratulations. I'm jealous, Kelly. So how did this happen? Yes, you should. How did this happen? How did you get on? Congratulations. Well, I'm happy that's working out for you. Hasn't been working out for me so far, but I'm happy it's working out for you. Wow. You're a published poet now, Callie. Callie over on Twitch is officially a published poet. And hey, Lele, how's it going? said the published poet. Is this part of your new poem that you're hoping to get published? About your itchy leg? An ode to itchy legs, even? Yeah, that's Callie's poem. Isn't it amazing? Be right back. Now, Callie, did you get money for this? Remember, Callie, when you apply for jobs, put that on your resume that you're a published poet. See, I can't get my own stuff published, but I can help other people get their stuff published. So what was the first thing you did, Callie, when you got published? Is this your first time getting published? But this is a proper grown-up publishing. Did you get any money for it? It's okay if you don't. Did they give you money? Yeah, that's fine. How does it feel to be a published poet? How does it feel? So, Tato, what's happening currently in Newsies? Oh, the ad on my thing? It never goes right, the ads. Have you told your parents yet? What did your parents say when you got published? Were they proud? Oh, you should tell them that you published. You got a poem published. That's a big deal. Callie, this is a relatively big accomplishment that you're a published poet now. I feel like you're underestimating you're undervaluing your achievement here. You did something really amazing. You know what this means? Like, you also now have an easier time of getting published again. The second you make it, you can make it even further. Heck, you could even try and get published. Very cool, Bat. I don't know if you're here. Bat just posted something on the server. I mean, you can. This will help you get your. How did you get scammed, Jade? How did you almost get scammed? I mean that's pretty much it. But it's like all that stuff is good. You've done good, Callie. You've done good. You should feel good. your next step is you should build on this and try and get published again. And tell your parents. Tell your parents. This is a big deal. Oh, no. Yeah, that's 100. Yeah, that's a fairly well-known scam that they're pulling. A lot of scammers are doing now, where they'll impersonate famous YouTubers and try and like, yeah, nope, that's a scam. Yeah, that's a scam, Jaden. But then again, I mean, Elon Musk is just giving random ideas to, is just FaceTiming random people. Hello, Nevermore. How's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Burp indeed. Oh shit, are you okay? Yeah, it is rough shit. I got friends in California. One of my friends, they're fine. Burp indeed. Burp indeed. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's always been an issue in California. I used to live there. I used to live in California, and I remember one day I was walking, and you just saw this massive smoke pile, smoke all over, like it was huge, and you could see it all over the city. Just this massive amount of smoke coming from this one area, and that was wild. It was like living at the end. It was like living during an apocalypse event or something. It was wild. So what you been doing lately? Never? Besides that. Writing and reading? What are you writing and or reading? And what are tell me about this short you're trying to finish. Okay. Tell me more, tell me more. Yes, you can. Have it be about a poem. Have it be about a poem. The poem should be about you trying to write a poem in 2 hours. Okay, sounds really fun. Nice! Heck, you're almost... How long is a novella? That's almost a novella length. How long is a novella? Ooh. Yeah, you're getting close to one. Well, halfway there. About 17,000 words. Ah, well, that's good. Well, that's awesome. Holy heck, you have done it. Congratulations. Does it feel good? What have you been reading? What literature have you been reading? Tell me. I want to know. No, that's an achievement. You should feel proud of that. You achieved something. Okay, what do you... I don't know if I've heard of Reuben, but I like that you're reading James Joyce. What have you been reading with Joyce? Are you reading Dubliners? I love that book. Yeah, that's a great one. I love the fact that, like, apparently he got in a lot of trouble for it, like, with his... Because, like, a lot of those stories are just... A lot of those stories are, like, based on, like, real people he knew. And I guess he got in a ton of trouble for it with, like, the real people that he knew. I always found that so funny. It's like... Because I have some families. Yeah, it's like... Yeah, I guess a lot of them are just, like, not, like, yeah... And, like, the real people were like, what? You can't write. Anyways. Yeah. No, Joyce is... I love Joyce. He's one of my favorites. It's all about being sad and Irish. And as somebody who is 1/20th Irish... As somebody who is 1/20th Irish... I really feel that. I have many opinions on Ireland. As somebody who is 1/30th Irish, I have a great-great-great-grandfather from Ireland somewhere down the line. My thoughts, I feel particularly connected to Ireland. Tell me, what do you think? Yeah. Oh! Yeah! Oh my god, isn't that, like, that's like the most douchey move I've ever seen somebody do. Yeah, Connor, you're a real badass for beating up an old man. Yeah, he's a real Conor McGregor, real badass. The pride of the Emerald Isle. Yeah, real nice way to represent the stereotype. Just aggressively lean into it. You know, James Joyce, one of the greatest novelists that ever exists. Oh, yeah, it was over whiskey too, which is it's so. And then didn't he like buy the bar and kick that guy out? Like he didn't ever let him come back to it. It's like Irishman. He's so annoying. I think he did. Oh, but his performance in the Roadhouse remake, that fixes everything. Truly a virtuoso actor. Conor McGregor punched an old man. Yeah, Conor McGregor buys Irish pub where he sucker punched old man. Cool dude, cool. Yeah. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Yeah, he did. Cool dude. Yeah, cool dude. Yeah, oh yeah. I like how, I think that idea is the better idea, Jaden. I like how, like, now that Francis Ngannou is like gone, like McGregor. Who's the other mega douche that the UFC has? Who's the other mega douche that John Jones? Like, the fact that Ngannou is gone means that both him and McGregor are coming back. It's like, no, make Titus the main villain. But like, now that Francis Ngannou is gone, like, they're both coming back. It's like, oh, what a coincidence that now that the person that could have beaten them is gone, that they're both, oh yeah, we'll come back to the UFC now. We'll come back to the UFC now that an actual challenger is gone. Whatever. Yeah, we'll come back now. Oh, we're still the most badass. So let's get 40-year-old guys who are past their prime, and let's fight them. Also known as the Jake Paul method. Isn't it like, I don't know, I always find it so super. Anyway, sorry, not to bring up Paul, just. Isn't it so obnoxious that Paul gets all this credit, even though he beat Mike Tyson, but he beat up a 60-year-old Mike Tyson who hadn't boxed seriously in like 20 years. Like, oh yeah, big. Yeah. Like how? Yeah, that's a big accomplishment, Jake. I always feel really like I called that Paul was going to win that fight when it was announced. I was like, oh, Paul's going to win that. And I never made a video about it, my thought process, and I'm almost like, damn it. I would have been so proven right. Yeah. I mean, Tyson, there's issues with Tyson. But yeah, he was not gonna win. It was so obvious he wasn't gonna win, and people were like, "Oh, he's gonna kill him." It's like, no, he's not. No, he's not. I mean, yeah, okay. Back in the day, like Prime Tyson, if Paul was fighting Prime Tyson, yeah, Tyson would like obliterate Paul very easily. Like if Paul was fighting Prime Mike, yeah, sure. Even like maybe like 40-year-old Mike Tyson, yeah. Even you know what? I'd even go further. Even like Mike Tyson in his 40s probably could still beat Paul. But not near pension, near you know, social security qualifying Tyson. No, that was never going to happen. It's ridiculous. That fight should have never been allowed to happen. I think. Yeah, exactly. But you know, it's. I watched a video recently about he was the son the son of one of he was the son of one of Mexico's richest men. And he initially was a politician, and then that really didn't work out. And then, like in his 30s, he decided he was going to become a pro boxer. But like, all he did was pay for like fights. Oh, I'm sorry. I do find that. Let me, and it gets to a point where like, he started. I'm sorry, Striker. Striker is a fine name, but I see like people. Rigged. I wouldn't say rigged. I would say weighted. I would say more accurately, most of it's weighted is the better word. Like the outcome isn't predetermined. I wouldn't say the outcome isn't predetermined, but boy, do they really stack the deck for certain people. Like how do half like the big fighters these days have like how half of the big fighters these days like have undefeated records? Like is it because they train super hard and then they fight nothing but like tomato cans, maybe? Is that the reason why? Like, it's super easy. By the way, having an undefeated record these days means nothing. Yeah. That's the issue. What they'll do is they'll just fight like. They'll just fight like people way beneath them. Like they're not, you know, the best of the best. You know, the two best in the world aren't fighting each other. It's like, yeah, exactly. It's bull. Yeah, exactly. They always stack the. Yeah, so rigged. No, I wouldn't use the word rigged. I reserve rigged for like pro wrestling or something. But like, oh, what news? Yeah. But like, stacked heavily in certain favors. Yeah, very much so. Like they do that all the time. I once had an idea of like I bet it's super. I once had an idea once that I bet it's super easy to actually like rig get an undefeated record. I thought I could. I was like, I bet I could even engineer myself getting an undefeated record. Like if I train for a while and then specifically pick opponents who have no experience in boxing. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what he does. But there's nothing in his personal life that would indicate that maybe he has some issues, right? Like, yeah. I don't think an undefeated record is as cool as, like, defeating, like, actual talented people. Yeah. Yeah, it's just... Yeah. It's oh no, my guy, he died. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, but that's like the thing with, like, modern day boxing, is that it's nonsense. Yeah. But you need that undefeated record to prove something. I don't know what. Yeah. Oh, thank God. You want to see a little bit from the fight I was talking about? I must warn you, this is bizarre. The guy looks very bizarre. He's had a little work done. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. I'll just keep it on mute. See if you can guess which one the person who paid for the victory. Oh, Ed? Is there an ad going on? Well, I'll wait for the ad to go off. Okay. Okay. Feels like they're not cutting to him. Can you tell who may be paid to win the fight? Normally I would get in trouble, but you'll see. Man, this guy's a real... Yeah. This guy's a real striker. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. And... boom. That light tat. And already he's gone down. Yeah. So, this guy... Yeah. Let's see. Okay, there it is. Yeah, we'll skip ahead. See, yeah, that really took somebody down. Remember, he has an undefeated record. He has an undefeated record, and he's always knocked people down in the first round, so... I don't know what you guys are talking about with, like, he's... Yeah, what are you talking about? No. Most realistic fighter ever. Yeah. So, his dad is, like... Yeah, it's pretty bad. His dad is, like, one of the richest men in Mexico. From my understanding, is part of a very rich family in Mexico, and he was a lawyer and a politician for a while, and then he just had this idea to become a boxer. Yeah. Don't get pec implants. They never look good, people. And he just, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I'm not the most athletic person in the world, but I can say with honesty, I think I could do better in the ring than him. I'm pretty sure I could. I'm not the most athletic, but I think I could do better. Yes, he is. I love James Joyce. Have you read Ulysses? Yeah. Have you even attempted to look at Finnegan's Wake? Oh, that's such a... I like that book a lot. I think that's such a good book. Yay, Calais! Yay! Ulysses is really good. That's such a... Finnegan's Wake is very difficult. It's maybe the most notoriously difficult book to read in history. Do you know who Italo Calvino is, Nevermore? Do you know who Italo Calvino is? Oh my God! If you like Joyce, yeah, if you're into like classics of world literature, you'll like Calvino. He wrote one of my favorite books, Invisible Cities. You should give that a look. That'd be right up your alley. And it's short too, which is strange for classical literature, but it's very good. It's hard to explain. It's a book. It's about Marco Polo and Kubla Khan. Okay, so Invisible Cities. Invisible. I know it's actually free. I've found a copy of it, by the way, on the internet. If you that you can just read for free, but. You should, Jaden. You should. Oh, of course, of course. What's what's that one? I do highly recommend that one. I do highly recommend, and you can finish it in pretty much a day. But what's on your list? Always good. I like some short stories. That's a good feeling, right? Do you have Borges on there? I have another. Have you read any Borges' stuff yet? If you like short story collections, look for Jorge Borges' short story collection. He wrote exclusively short stories, and they're all just that'd be a really good one. I love those so much. I should reread them. I've been meaning to. I read them all in like a week once. What are you reading of Melville? Is it Billy? What? There's. You know which one I want to really read of Melville. I have it. Is the ship the. The one where he kind of invents postmodernism. Scrivener. I haven't really read any Melville short stories. I mean, I've read Moby Dick, but I haven't really read any of his shorts. How was the Scrivener? It's long. It's long. It's very long. That's good. Good short stories are. Yeah. Young people in the audience. It's very good, but yeah, it is incredibly long. It's not helped by the fact that there's also like he also includes like pretty much an encyclopedia about whaling on top of it, which is a little hard to sit through. Yeah, he did. I mean, I saw a review once talk about this, and they said it's important to kind of consider that whalers were almost like kind of astronauts of their day. It was so surreal what they were doing that like there was just natural interest in how it worked, whaling. So it's like you have to put yourself a little bit in that mindset that there's just a natural like. I try like whenever I read an older book, I give it a little bit. I do try and give like older things a little bit of a little bit more of a wide berth, just because it's like, yes, of course I do. Yeah, of the context, and it's like especially for like works that are considered innovative and changed a lot of how literature works. You have to like appreciate that it's like, it might be routine to you, but the fact that they're the first ones who did it is a big deal. Like you have to acknowledge the history of the thing. Like it's okay, in my opinion, that like Beowulf or something is a little bit cliched story of a badass guy fighting monsters, because it's one of the first times that existed. Like that's one of the oldest stories we have where a guy is doing that. It's like, yeah, it's fine. Or it's like, it's okay that like maybe, I don't know. Yeah. I've been kind of on I've been on a Scott. Well, I've been reading Kurt Vonnegut again lately. Have you ever read any Kurt Vonnegut more? Yeah, it's important to look back, and it's occasionally important to like put yourself in the mindset of people who would be approaching this for the first time. Even I know that's difficult. That's a difficult ask at times, but it's important at least to understand what people wanted out of books back then, as opposed to like now. Have you read any of Kurt Vonnegut? I've been reading lately. Kurt Vonnegut is. Oh, that's a good one. I know you have a whole list, but Kurt Vonnegut is probably a guy you should add to your list. Cat's Cradle, God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater, Breakfast of Champions. They're all great. Yeah. Slaughter. I always forget. I hate numbers and titles because I always forget them. Slaughterhouse 15. I love the. Yeah. Let's see. I always forget the number. Slaughterhouse 5. Yes, Slaughterhouse 5. Yes. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one you should probably start. If you're going to read one of his, that's the one you should probably start with. Yeah, that. Many people consider that his like magnum opus. It's about his experiences in World War II. Oh. Oh. Well, justifiable, never. Justifiable. Okay. Okay, I like that, Jaden. I get it. I get it. Never. I get why that would be a problem. It's a good book, but very justifiable. Yeah, it's hard when because it's not really the book's fault when that happens, but it's also it makes enjoying things again on that level hard when you have when you have a bad interaction with somebody. Yeah. No, I get that. Okay. Okay, tell me more about Scarlet Fury, Jaden. You have a design for Scarlet? Hey, no, I shouldn't tell that story. Two women I've seen the first two of my first dates. I don't know. It doesn't make me look bad, but it's I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, no. Yeah, so maybe Hurt's reading Kurt Vonnegut because of that. Shame, he's good. Yeah. What's kind of fun if you're into like modern day things, since everything is a connected universe, is that all of Kurt Vonnegut's books take place in the same universe. Yes, you should. And like minor characters from one will pop up as, oh, yeah, I don't read as much contemporary work as I should. Who are you reading? Do you have any recommendations for a good contemporary person? No good recommendations. Yeah, there probably is, but yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. If they were really good, they would have been dead for 20 years. That's my opinion. I'm sure there are. I don't see it, Jake. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Unfortunately, like literary fiction is not super. Like more literary stuff is not super appreciated. Although I love fantasy. I love me a good fantasy. Oh, I like this design, Jalen. That's a good design. I mean, I'm sure there are. I like fantasy, obviously, but I don't know. Well, I tend to be of the belief that there's always good things being produced. You just have to know where to look for it. Unfortunately, I have no idea where to look for it anymore. I see it. I saw it. It looks good. Posted it twice, but very good. Yeah. I blame Masters of Fine Arts programs generally. The Masters of Fine Arts programs have been very good at producing incredibly boring American writers for incredibly boring American writers for the last decade and a half. Young people. PG-13 stream. PG-13 stream. Yeah. No worries. No worries. Yeah. No worries. No worries. Just warning. Yeah. No, I agree. It's. I just like. When was the last time? Like sincerely, when was the last time people were excited about a book coming out? Like, when was the release of a book a big deal that everybody had to read? Yeah, I don't know. Was it Harry Potter? Yeah, probably. I mean, Hunger Games was a big deal. But, like, okay, even better question. When was a book that came out that it was, like, essential for grown-ups to read? Like, when was, like, the last time a book came out and, like, everybody was like, oh, you have to read this? I don't know either. I honestly don't know. Maybe I'm just disconnected, but yeah. Yeah, never. I agree, Jaden. Like, who even are the contemporary author? I don't know. I'm very out of... I think Kurt Vonnegut is the most contemporary author I've read in a while, which is not great. I know I'm part of the problem, but of course I have. Oh, of course. Yeah, that's the other issue. Like, when we do get somebody big, unfortunately we lose them, and we lost David Foster Wallace, and it's like. I would argue. Yeah, I'd argue that David Foster Wallace was like the last really, like, important guy like that, where it was like, this is a guy pushing literature. No, I honestly don't think on my level. I'll be honest, me neither. I hope to, like, write competent literature that people will enjoy, but. I don't know if it'll ever be at the level of like a David Foster Wallace or something, but it's like, like what, like, no, when it's, I don't know, it bums me out. I think. Oh yeah. What was that guy's name? Doc Savage is so weird. Superhero fans. I love old school pulp like that. I do. Like, superhero fans, if you're curious, Doc Savage is considered a proto, like, superhero Superman. Are you reading, like, the originals? Yeah. That's... Yeah. I love those. Those are... I love old school pulp like that. Like... Yeah, I've never sat down and read any Doc Savage. I really should. That's... Do they get... I've heard that they can get really weird and... oh, an ad's coming. But... Yep. I did like the Superman trailer. Yeah, like L. Ron Hubbard, his work ethic was really good. He wrote a ton of stuff. Hey, you know, certain things were legal back then that aren't legal now. Never. I wonder why his work ethic was so great. Certain things were very legal. Yeah. Well, there's an ad coming. We'll talk more in a sec. You guys see the ad? Oh, yeah. I don't get these warnings. Anyways. Yeah. Well, one of the reasons possibly why literature is struggling in the modern time is I'll throw this out there. I'll throw this out there. You can make a really good living as a novelist. Uh, like people who wrote short stories, like if they could get two accepted, like that would be the equivalent of like $3,000 a month if they could get like two short stories accepted into a magazine. So it's like, with that incentive, you can see why maybe like literature struggles now these days. Yeah. Well, also just like they were paid better. Yeah. Anybody who criticizes, I would argue that they were also just paid better in the past. Like the pay was much better in the past for a writer than it is now. Most writers, yeah, writers. Like here's a fun fact. I don't know if people know this. Most writers live below the poverty belt. Like a professional writer is often like below the poverty belt, and those people. Any like, he literally hasn't said a word yet in the trailer. It's just so. Do you ever notice that like nowadays like trailers are more important than like the actual movies themselves? That bugs me. Yeah, they have less distractions. They got paid. I do really think I really think a lot of it is the pay though. I think if there was more people, if writing was a more stable job that paid better, then we would have a much better cross section of writers. Because right now, like the only people who can afford to and I'll maybe throw myself on that, sit down and like try and really make it as a writer. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you gotta work. You gotta still work. It's still a lot of work, but like, yeah. Well, yeah, but he drew. That's how the Marvel method worked. Yeah, that's how. Well, yeah. I mean, it's very specific to like how Marvel created comics is that they were essentially writing and drawing at the same time, but what was I saying? Yeah. This is going to be controversial, maybe a little bit. In some way, no. Steve Ditko is somebody who's. I really like Steve Ditko as an artist, and Kirby gets a lot of credits. Kirby gets a lot of. I know who Steve Ditko is. Nevermore. I know who Steve Ditko is. Kirby gets a lot of credit, justifiably, but I also think Kirby. Trust me, I know who Steve Ditko is. I have read a lot about Steve Ditko in my time. Kirby gets, I think, a lot of justifiable credit for like how amazing he is, but we never talk about Ditko as much. I don't know, that always bugged me. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's a perfectly good bio, Callie. We never talk about Ditko as much, and I don't know. Partly because, yeah. Well, partly because I think Kirby's post-Marvel work is much stronger than Ditko's. Partly because Ditko's post-Marvel work is... Kirby's post-Marvel work is much stronger than Ditko's post-modern work. Ditko kind of gets a little bit... yeah. Yeah. Okay, Jaden, Steve Ditko is the co-creator of Spider-Man. Is the co-creator of Spider-Man. Some would argue, yeah. Oh, Spider-Man's always been the most successful comic, right from the get-go. Like, did he co-create X-Men 2? I forget, or was that Kirby? No, that was Kobe. That was Kirby. Yeah. So, if you guys don't know about Marvel history, I gotta go to the bathroom. A little bit of a hint. The co-creators of a lot of the original characters are probably much more important than you think they are. I mean, arguably on the comic side, Spider-Man is still the reason why Marvel is in business. They don't release sales figures anymore for comics, which really frustrates me, but because I was always fascinated with reading them. But yeah, Spider-Man was always like the marquee. Since Spider-Man was created, Spider-Man was essentially the marquee figure for Marvel in a lot of ways. Yeah. It's a weird the comics are weird now because of that, because I don't know. I keep hoping that it'll actually be better because of that, because like there was a lot of problems. Yeah, there was like a lot of problems with when Spider-Man was so prominent in the Marvel universe, but nope. Comics are still the creators. Yeah, they did. But yeah, so okay, so history-wise, I know modern Marvel fans who maybe just watched the movies might not really have the appreciation. Seemingly don't understand how important like Ditko and Kirby were. Who's the other guy? There's a third guy. Was it Ramita? To Marvel. So the way Marvel, it was Ramita, right? Was it Joe Ramita? Okay, it was. It was Joe Simon, right? Captain America. Who created Captain America? Yeah, Joe Simon. Yeah, I mean, it was arguably yeah, it was arguably more than yeah, it would be. It's really. I don't know. It's really innocuous. Like, it would be wrong to say. Like, from everything I've read about early Marvel, it was really more of a team. Like, the group of writers and artists that worked there were more of a team that all collaborated on those projects. And so it's I don't know. I just like that Kirby and Ditko and stuff are being written out of the history books. Yeah. Yeah, Lee was always somebody who was very intent on promoting himself as a writer, as a dude. Not that Lee didn't do it. Like, I've read enough of Stan Lee to pick up... Stan Lee has a very distinct dialogue style that pops up a lot in his writing. So you can tell a Stan Lee written comic. But it's like, so how Marvel made comics is they would generally come up with storylines. Like, Stan Lee claimed he came up with it, but it sounded more like possibly the team would generally come up with storylines, then the artist would come up with an outline for a story, then the artist would draw the story, and they would get kind of pretty much full control for how to draw the story. So that meant they determined a lot of how the story was told, and then the writer would come in and write add the dialogue later. So it's a very good method for getting a lot of comics done very quickly. It does mean that at times it's a little bit hard to figure out who did what, because everybody was participating in some ways. But I didn't know that. I've seen... have you ever seen any of Stan Lee's non-Marvel stuff? They're actually, some of them aren't bad, but some of them are pretty bad. What's funny is he actually has there's a decent anime that he produced. Yeah. Oh, most definitely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Also, Silver Surfer, Fantastic Four. Yeah. I mean, never. New Gods is pretty much the sequel to Thor. His Thor comics, in a way. Yeah. New Gods is essentially the sequel to Thor. And even Lee admitted that Ditko was pretty much solely writing the Spider-Man comics after a few years. I've seen some people argue that it's actually an explicit sequel to... Because, when Kirby wrote the New Gods, he always said that the Booms would go to a different dimension, not a different planet. That was always very clear. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, Ditko... My problem with Ditko, Steve Ditko, is, I've read Mr. A. I don't like his later stuff. The thing with Ditko is, this is gonna sound weird, but I think Ditko was better when he had somebody maybe controlling him a little bit. When he had an editor that could say no to him. Because once he got to start writing his own stuff, it was very it was the art was really great, the design was really cool, but it's honestly, I feel like his stories were a little bit of a slog to get through. Yeah, which is a shame, because when he was with Marvel, his stuff was so good. His stuff was so good. I really love pretty much all of Ditko's work with Marvel. It's amazing. But I just and I would love to say he's great. He's like a master, because a lot of his stuff he wrote was a masterpiece, but I don't know. Like his doctor. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, Jaden. I don't know if you've like the movies haven't got to the New Gods yet. They're a little hard to do. The New Gods are a little. Yeah. Yeah. Hawk and Dove. Yeah. His PC stuff isn't bad. Squirrel Girl. Also, he co-created Squirrel Girl, which was always such a funny piece of trivia. Yeah. He co-created Squirrel Girl, which is always such a fun. I think that was like one of his last creations that he got in there was Squirrel Girl. Squirrel. I hate saying Squirrel Girl because it's my accent. I always get it wrong. But yeah. I like his. Yeah, I do like his stuff. And I like the Creeper. The Question is really good. In some ways, I mean, most infamously. Watchmen is Rorschach is kind of based around Steve Ditko. Yeah. So I don't know. Jaden, have you read Watchmen yet? I don't know if that's age appropriate for you, but that's one of those funny things because I read it your age. I shouldn't have, but I did. Yeah. Oh my god. Maybe the best superhero comic ever made. It's hard to disagree with that. But yeah. Quite famously, the main character. You know this. Never. Rorschach is essentially based on Steve Ditko's later characters, and it's actually not so much based on The Question, although that's kind of where the basis starts. According to Moore, it's really based on a much more obscure character he wrote called Mr. A, which is, I've read some Mr. A. It is quite tedious to get through. Let's see. I have a copy of it. I always keep a copy of it close to my heart. Is it around here? Yeah. It's a bit of Batman, but it's more influenced by The Question and Mr. A. I'm sure I have it somewhere. Oh, there it is. Aha, I found it. I love it. Yeah, I don't like Zack Snyder. I honestly think Zack Snyder is a bit of a hack. My copy of Watchmen. Zack Snyder is exactly like all of the post-Watchmen writers who tried to ape Watchmen style by being super dark and edgy. Appropriate panel to show people that I don't get in trouble with. Like that one. Nope, can't show any of Dr. Manhattan. Can't show too much of Dr. Manhattan. Nice. Which is funny because he did take the superheroes quite. I don't know. That's always the funny thing with like Watchmen. It's like, I am super proud, Callie. That is always the funny thing with Watchmen. Like, you read it and you're like, oh, this is the way superheroes should be written. And it's like, and then it like somehow turns into, like, let's, man. Like, it's so bad what happened next. Like, I hate being mean to Rob Liefeld. I know that sounds weird, but like Rob Liefeld is such a nice guy, and everybody who works with him says he's like the nicest guy around. Yeah. You know, as much as I like Alan Moore, I sometimes think he doesn't want to admit occasionally how seriously he took some things, but yeah. I've read his early superhero work. He took. Yeah. Oh, he very much. Never remember. He's a wizard. He does wizard. He's a wizard. So he was probably communicating with like some snake god or something. He was communicating with like a snake god or something when he wrote it, probably. Have you ever read Supreme? Have you ever read Supreme? Really? I've never actually seen the script. I remember he said in an interview once that he was very self-conscious about releasing his scripts, but I guess it's out there. Oh man, Supreme! Supreme is really good. I really love Supreme. That is like it's basically him attempting to like bring back like more Silver Agey. It's essentially his. It's funny because it's essentially what his Superman run probably would have been like if he was allowed to. If he had stayed with DC, it's probably how he would have like done Superman. It's funny because it's like, Jaden, do you know who Rob Liefeld is? Okay, so basically Rob Liefeld had created this kind of like terrible, super dark and edgy like Superman version of Superman. So like Alan Moore totally rebooted it, and you'll know him mostly because he created Deadpool. He's the creator of Deadpool. But yeah, he had created super dark and edgy, and Alan Moore just made him a legitimate Superman clone. But yes, Rob Liefeld is a co-founder of Image. He's one of the founders of Image, which is funny because that's where all the good comics come from nowadays. But back in the early days, Image was just crap. That's not true. I shouldn't say that because Max was really good. The Max I think holds up as a masterpiece, and early Spawn is pretty decent actually. I wouldn't say it. Yeah. Have you ever read the Max? Never. Have you ever read the Max? Or seen the show? The Max is really good. The Max is like, I think holds up really well as like a good example of like what it's a really good comic, and it's a good example of what Image would eventually. It's a good indicator of what Image would eventually turn into as a company. Because it's a surreal. It's still a superhero story, but it's a very surreal, like artistically driven version of a superhero with like a little bit much more mature themes than like some superhero stories are willing to deal with. Yeah, if you want a good example of like what, if you they adapted it into an animated show for MTV that's really good, by the way. If you just want to watch that, it's free on YouTube. Somebody just uploaded it to YouTube. It's free there. but the Max is a really good sign of like what Image would eventually become as a company. I've never read Wildcats. That's something. I've read a little bit of when Dark Horse tried to make its own superhero universe. Was that Jim Lee? I know Moore wrote for Jim Lee. I have a collection of Moore's comics that he wrote for Wildcats somewhere around here that I probably should get around to reading, but yes, it is. That is a later hit. Okay, so I'm going to explain. Jaden, do you know what? I feel like we're talking over some people here. Jaden, do you know what Image Comics is? And have you ever heard of Alan Moore? Yeah. Okay. Here's my opinion, my genuine opinion of superhero stories. I feel like there are some superhero stories out there that I would put on the level of like truly great literature. Like truly great literature, and the only reason that they're not considered at that level is just because of like people don't want to be seen giving praise to like comic book superhero stories. Saying that, I also think superhero stories are responsible for producing some of the highest grade crap you've ever seen, ever read. So there's a wide breadth, but I think like something, if you like look at something like Watchmen, and go like, yeah, that's one of the best produced just pieces of fiction, English language fiction, in like the last 90 years. Yeah, if you can honestly say that, if you can read that and go like, I would say that. I would argue. Time put it on their list. I would argue, yeah, it is. It's maybe one of the best novels. Yeah, but yeah, like superhero. Unfortunately, there's like a lot of garbage with superheroes. A lot of garbage superhero stuff, which hurts it. And the problem is, it's not just garbage. It's embarrassing. It can be deeply embarrassing how bad some superhero stories can be. So, and you gotta argue like, no, it's good. Please trust me, it can get good. Jaden, do you know who? Yeah. There are a lot of not just bad, embarrassing. They're embarrassing for what they're humiliating to like talk about. And they can do very stupid, humiliating things. Jaden, do you know who... Okay, two questions, Jaden. Do you know who Alan Moore is, and do you know what Image Comics is? Like, honestly, like, reading some early Image is embarrassing. There's good new comics. Mostly in the indie space, but most of it's in the indies. The problem with like mostly in the indie space, but there's still good comics being produced. Yeah, there's some good superhero stuff too, but it does feel, I don't know, like superhero stuff, at least in the mainstream, does feel a lot like. Oh, thank you, Bio. Image Comics. Okay. I've been reading, what's this? I'll throw this out there. There was a very, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow was excellent. I think that was one of the best new superhero things I've read in a while. What's the, I've been behind on, I haven't been reading as much as I would like to. I should. Yeah, no, I agree. It can get pretty. Part of the problem is at a certain point you need to start reading more. You want a little bit more quality in things, and that means, but like I don't know. I think people really hyper focus on like super mainstream things, and it's like at a certain point, if you're paying attention, you'll eventually start drifting away from that. Eventually, as you get older, you need more. I don't know. At least that's my experience. Just looking through the comics I've read. Astro City. Have you read Astro City? If you like good superhero stories, read it. I always recommend people read Astro City. Nobody does, which always bums me out. Astro City is really good. Astro City is flippin' fantastic. Oh yeah, Love Everlasting. That's a great series. Love Everlasting, Bloodrick. Unfortunately, he only does the covers, but guess I'm just looking. Helen of Winterhorn is something I really like. Love Everlasting is really good. Nobody's talking about that one, but I think that's one of the best new series that I've read in a while. But yeah, Daniel Warren Johnson's stuff is good. Yeah, what's the series that I read from him recently that I really loved? Have you read any of Daniel Warren Johnson? Daniel Warren, Daniel Warren Johnson. Daniel. I'll look at it in a second. I'm just trying to find this series. This is going to drive me up the wall because I read it a bit ago and I was like, aha, there it is. Do a Power Bomb. That's what it was called. Do a Power Bomb. I was trying to remember the name of that. Do a Power Bomb is great. It's about an interdimensional pro wrestling tournament. Definitely a little bit of an inspiration on the stuff I've been writing lately. But it's also like Daniel Warren Johnson is so weird because he writes like TM awesome stuff, but it's all like somehow it's all like incredibly melancholy at the same time. You know what I mean? It's if you want like really cool stuff, like he has like something. It's like Murder Falcon is one of his big things. But yeah, and he's in charge of the new He's in charge of the new Transformers comics. Jaden, you like Transformers, right, Jaden? Yeah, the new Transformer comics that are coming out that are really good are Daniel Warren Johnson. Are being run by Daniel Warren Johnson, and yeah, so he's really good. 8 Billion Genies was a really good series. I read a few years ago, like last year, I think. That was really good. 8 Billion Genies. Yep, 8 Billion Genies. I have not yet. Oh, Bone is great. You want to see something cool with Bone? Let me show you Bone. Bone is great. Bone, yes. Let's see. Here's my copy of Bone. Oh, it gets nicer. Boop, 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 boop. You see that? See that? Yep. I got that autograph by Jeff Smith himself. Yep. I got that autograph by him himself. I met him in person at Comic Con in something. I forget which year. But, yeah. Right? You're jealous. You're jealous. You're jealous. Yeah. Ha-ha! Super jelly. Yeah. Yes, that is the one where he kills the deer. It's a very good series. It's probably one of the better ones they've done in a long time. And if you've read any Daniel Warren Johnson stuff, you'll know that Daniel Warren Johnson is a very good choice for Transformers. Eight Billion Genies is so good, by the way. I feel like nobody talks about that series, which is a bummer because that's a really good one. So the premise of 8 Billion Genies is inexplicably 8 billion when Earth reaches a population of 8 billion, every person on Earth gets a genie. Every person on Earth gets a genie who will grant them one wish, and this inevitably ends the world. And we follow a group of survivors over the years as the repercussions for everybody on Earth getting a single wish happens. It gets much more complicated from then on out. See, I'll throw this. Yeah, it's a nice way to end the world. Yeah. I don't want to give too much away why it's happening, but there's a very good reason why this is happening and what's going on. But we follow a group of people as they deal with the outcome of like everybody in the world getting a single wish. Like there's one kid. Anyways, it's very good, but it's a very fun. It's very fun, and honestly, I'll throw this out there. The ending made me cry a little bit. Yeah. The ending made me cry a little bit. I legitimately cried at the ending. I thought the ending was very beautiful, the way it ended. Yeah. Yes, Wally is the better Flash. I agree, 100%. And very rarely do stories do that. So, whenever that happens, Love Everlasting. Okay, now I'm just gonna pitch in comics I really like. Wally is just the better Flash. I don't know. I blame most problems in DC not on Zack Snyder, but on Jeff Johns. I blame I blame Jeff Johns for actually most of the problems on Earth. I think I can trace most of this fall of humanity at Jeff Johns' feet. If I really try, I think I can accredit everything that's ever gone wrong in the world to Jeff Johns in some way. I don't hate Snyder personally either. I actually think his early films showed promise. I think his early films showed promise. Here's what I would say. I'll throw this out there. My opinion about Zack Snyder. I think Zack Snyder has the potential to be a great director. Here's what I'll say. Snyder is a terrible writer. He's an absolutely terrible writer, and he has a problem being cohesive with everything. He has a problem with being cohesive. I just don't think he should write any of his scripts. Like, his best movie is his first movie. His best movie is that the Day of the Dead remake he made. And the coincidence is he was working with a much better writer. Like, he should never write his own scripts, and he has the arrogant. And I think his problem is he writes his own scripts. Yeah. Yes, I agree with you 100%, Jaden. WALL-E is a better... Well, because WALL-E was... I'll throw this out there. WALL-E was written by a much better writer. Yeah. Well, Snyder has an... Like, that's the thing. Snyder has an interesting... I compare him to, like, yeah. Well, okay, I'll throw this out there. Snyder isn't a great writer, and he isn't a particularly good editor. Also, is a part of the issue. He doesn't know how to pace a story, editing-wise. Yeah, but that's the thing. But that's Snyder as a writer. Like, that's Snyder full-on writing. It's like Snyder would be so much better served by just being a director, and him coming up with. Because, like, when he comes up with the idea and lets other people be in charge of it, his stuff gets a lot better. That animated show he put out has been really... that he just came up with the idea for the show for, but he let other people be in charge of, was much better. Yeah. But, I don't know. I think Snyder has the arrogance to think of himself as a great writer as well. Like, because a lot of great directors are also great writers. Oh, God, Rebel Moon. Here's my problem with Rebel Moon. If I can throw this out there. Yeah, he was a terrible pick for Superman. I agree. Jaden, he's definitely more of a Batman guy. I don't think he'd make a necessarily great Batman film. I don't know. Again, he's a bad writer. Like, every problem that Snyder has traces back that he's not a particularly good writer. That's always Snyder's problem. I'll throw it out there. I think he'd get Batman more. But he wouldn't know how to write him more. It wouldn't necessarily be a good Batman movie, but he would get it. It would be more tonally. It would be tonally better with the movies. Oh, no worries, Kato. No worries. How was Newsies? Yeah. We're just talking. Yeah. We're just talking shopping. What was I saying? Okay, but Love Everlasting. If you guys, okay. Love Everlasting is a really good comic because it's about okay. So the basic premise, it's a little bit of a hard premise to explain, but the basic premise is it's about this woman. No, it's a comic book. It's a comic book. It's a totally different comic book. It's about this woman named Joan, and she keeps waking up, and it's every time she keeps waking up in new scenarios over and over again, with somebody new to fall in love with, and every time she says she loves a guy, she'll wake up in a new world. She'll wake up in a new world, in a new scenario, in a new love story, and she becomes aware of this, and she's trying to figure out how to break the cycle and free herself from it. And she very well could have been trapped for like hundreds of years in the cycle of just constantly waking up in a new love story every time. It's kind of a take that, not take that, but it's kind of a look at like romance comics. Yeah, but it's like a horror. It's kind of a horror. It's kind of a horror series. Because she keeps getting trapped into these new scenarios, and like she keeps trying to break it in different ways. But and it's not. Yeah, it's really cool, and it goes. It's if you want like some very dramatic like look at yeah. If you want some very dramatic look at like the way, yeah, it's really cool. It's like the way like how relationships are and people. Anyway, it's really cool comic. I really love that comic a lot. I wish more people read it. Yeah. I forget how. I don't know if I've ever read the first Justice League comic. That probably should be something I read. I don't know. We'll talk about something you know, Tato. How's Newsies? How's News? Yeah. So yeah, there's always good comics being produced, but it is very much in the indie space usually. That's why I wish there'd be more people would try independent superheroes, like Jaden. You're the guy. Because I love superheroes, and I wish they would make more. I wish we would maybe have stuff outside of Marvel and DC. Like Astro City is so good. I've tried so hard to recommend Astro City to people, but have you? I've tried so hard. You should read Astro City Nevermore. You should read that. In some ways, as revolutionary as like something like Watchmen is. It's essentially Kurt Busiek. It's essentially Kurt Busiek. Yeah, so it's basic. It's more straightforward superhero stories, but it's Busiek more anchoring them in like real life like scenario, making it feel more realistic and grounded in a weird way. Even though there's like the second issue is literally about a group of demonic sharkmen coming out from fighting a group of demonic sharkmen. But it's really more about it's really more about just a guy trying to like make his way in the city as a journalist, as a group of sharkmen. Of course they are. Come about. It's really weird. Or it's like the first issue is about the Superman equivalent, the Samaritan. Hey, how's it going? No, independent comics are like comics. Yeah, are like comics that aren't owned by a major company. Usually, is what that means. Like independent comics usually mean like it's a comic owned by a single person, usually not part of a major company. Like so, yeah, not Marvel or DC. Like Image also doesn't really own. Yes, they are teaming up with basketballs. That's just what. Image doesn't really own a lot of the comics it produces. It just publishes them. Like the creators are the ones who owns them. Yeah. So the thing with Astro City is it's more of an extended like. Jaden, why I'm suggesting that maybe you should read it is it's essentially Kurt Busiek's own private superhero universe, and there's like no one real protagonist of Astro City. It changes all the time who the main character is, and it's like it's not. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. It changes all the time who the main character is, and it's more about the city itself and the way people react to this the weird superheroes. Yes. So you have to read it. You have to read it. Welcome to the stream. Okay, Tatum, how was Newsies? And Maria, thank you so much. And yes, buff hamsters are teaming up with basketballs. So it's stuff like that, or it's like amazing. There's a very good argument to be made that you can break up superhero stories into. Yeah, I mean, there's a very good argument that you can make that you can break up superhero stories into like pre-Watchmen and post-Watchmen, because like, are you seeing an act? It's very like Watchmen was and is essentially like was an event. Like it was an event on the level that like people who didn't read superhero comics read Watchmen. Like if you were a young person in the 90s, like if you were a person in the 90s, you kind of just read it because it was so important. It was characters will screw him over somehow. Thing about it, there's a reason it's called that. It has. Yeah. Yeah. Have you read The Long Halloween? Yeah, it's basically a it's about yeah. Anyways, yeah, and it's kind of like the implication. Yeah, I haven't reread it in a while too. I gotta admit, but I liked it when I read it. The implication is like it's long Halloween because people are wearing costumes all year round. Is why they call it that. And Leb, Jeff Leb, he never really. I don't know. His fall is totally understandable, and I feel no like if anything the problem is that he was brought back at all. Like he probably shouldn't have been brought back at all. But like man, like there was a time where theoretically he could have been he may he could have been a goat. I shouldn't say that, but he could have been one of the great writers for DC, like one of the great comic writers. Man, I blame who was the president who was the really bad president of Marvel that kind of ruined a lot of things. The One More Day guy, the guy who pushed for One More Day to exist. Like I blame him a lot more for the problems with Leb's later stories than anything. Yeah. Um. Do you know Leb's whole thing? His son died of cancer. His son died of cancer, and he had pretty much retired from comics after that incident. After his son died, and then he was kind of brought back in. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks, and he was brought back in. He was brought back in years later. Yeah, he was brought back in years later, and I frankly like no offense to him. I like his early work a lot, but I just don't. He was just not the same person when he came back. He came out of retirement, and he was kind of he seemed from the way it was described, he was kind of they so I don't like yeah yeah Ooh, One More Day. I always forget that that's Jay Michaels from Escape who made Joe Quesada. It was Joe Quesada is what I'm thinking of. Don't like Joe Quesada all that much. Joe Quesada. Don't like him all that much. Joe Quesada. I think he had a very I think he had a very obnoxious. I think he had I don't know. I just don't like him. He's a guy I don't like because of like the type of stuff he pushed in Marvel. Like Marvel went through a very down period with him in charge. I don't know about the new guy either, really, honestly, but he's not as bad as Casada was. No. You've got the next round. Jim Lee's in charge of DC. It's Marvel. Let's see. Jim Lee's more of a DC guy. The funny story with him is he got caught impersonating a Japanese guy as a writer. Like story numerous wars that would prove that, right? No, 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 no. What? Since when? Is this a new thing? Yeah, they have a very bad dating history. Yeah, you could call it that. You could call it that. It's the most bizarre thing. It's the most bizarre thing. And of course, of course, I mean, part of the problem is that it's like, there's a good deal of Japanese, like people who just don't want to deal with it at all, like, and still deny it to this day, which is always an issue. Uh, and when I say that, I mean the government. The government does that. Shinzo Abe was a big, like, Shinzo Abe did that. Yeah. Rest of Asia don't give a shit. I don't know. I actually don't know, so I shouldn't speak on that. Yeah. Yeah, that kind of left a bitter taste. Yeah. So yeah, it's complicated. I was not to get too. Tato, you're not still here, are you? Yeah, war is hell, and attempting to build an empire for attempting to build a colonless empire in the 20th century is very hell. Um, there are people like one thing I've read about is like there'll be like, and the thing is, like, there's like shrines to this stuff too in Japan. And one of like the bizarre things that'll happen is like Chinese or Korean celebrities will just accidentally wander because it looks like they'll look like just like normal shrines, and you won't realize what they actually are. Too good of a writer being your head editor because you want them like actually writing. At least my thought is like, um, so you want somebody who's good at managing people, I guess. Or just one of those things. It's like one of those. He was a pimp. He was like a gangster pimp, like the most stereotypical like display of a black person ever. And it's like, and everybody's like, where did this come from? He was like just a normal military guy. It's like, well, yeah, but he was brainwashed by that to be that. He's actually, yeah. But at least that's a new franchise. That's what I'm saying. At least it's something new. At least it matters. At least it's not an adaptation of an 80-year-old thing. Yeah. It is funny how like Fast and the Furious is essentially the original Fast and Furious is such a Point Break ripoff. It's so funny. Like, it was essentially just rip it. Let's just make it. Let's just do Point Break but cars. Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. If you've never seen Point Break, the original Fast and Furious really rips that off. Keanu, uh, Keanu Reeves is Paul Walker's character, and Patrick Swayze is Vin Diesel's character. They should have got Patrick Swayze in one of those Fast and Furious movies while he
while he was around. This leg is going